Merry Christmas, or depending when you're watching this, Merry Christmas. And I know it might be mid-July, and you might have been searching around for a nice video about Xurkitree and been wished a Merry Christmas. If so, I don't think that's a bad thing. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It is Christmas. Technically, it's actually Christmas Eve when I'm recording this, but hopefully it's Christmas Day when most of you are watching this. Only one video today. I'm breaking my 2-video-a-day rule because, you know, it's Christmas and I need to spend time with wife and family and eat until I get into some kind of food-related trouble. But today, we are spending our one video talking about Xurkitree. As far as I'm concerned, the second most Christmassy Pokemon there is. Obviously, Delibird is the Christmas Pokemon. You will hear no arguments from me about that. But we did our Delibird video last year. Weirdly enough, my good friend Sebi Ernesto, he did suggest doing a Xurkitree video last year. But the thing is, it had just come out in the video game, and it hadn't come out in the card game yet. There really was nothing to say about Xurkitree. The good news is, this year, we are talking Xurkitree on Christmas, and the reason is, it's basically a Christmas tree. Now, according to Bulbapedia.com, it has made its appearance in the Pokemon Adventures manga. In the Sun and Moon chapter, one was seen emerging from an ultra wormhole above lush jungle. Then it battled against Tapu Lele. Here's a picture if you don't believe me. Thank you to Bulbapedia for that information. This video is generally going to be split into two. Looking at Xurkitree in the card game and looking at Xurkitree in the video game. And the great news is, it's really good in both. We will start off with the trading card game, and we'll be having a look at Xurkitree as a GX card, the only one that's been officially released. Now, Xurkitree GX is actually really good. It's got a fantastic ability which gives it immunity from all Pokemon with any special energy attached. It only actually stops damage, it doesn't stop other effects of attacks, but given that double colorless energy is everywhere with Pokemon like Zoroark at the moment, given that strong energy is seeing a lot of play with Pokemon like Buzzwole at the moment, and we've all been seeing quite a bit of play of rainbow energy with Pokemon like Golisopod at the moment, fair to say there is some use, and this did see some success. There was, I believe, a top 16 finish at the recent Memphis Regional Championships with a deck built around Wishiwashi, Celesteela, and Xurkitree. I will pop a link to that one in the description. And quite simply, it was a deck that didn't really play much energy. It was all about blocking with Xurkitree if they used special energy, or Wishiwashi or Celesteela if they didn't. But the other great thing about Xurkitree is the GX attack, Lightning GX. You get to look at your opponent's hand, you get to find any card you like and put it down as a 7th prize card. This is why Yoshi's deck at Memphis did play a little bit of energy. Not only do you give them a 7th prize card, which in itself is very annoying, but you then get to actually choose a card from their hand. What's that? You've got a hand of nothing and a Professor Sycamore that you were planning to play to get a new hand, so you didn't have a hand of nothing? Well, I'm now putting Professor Sycamore down as an extra prize. Have fun drawing nothing of worth for the next few turns. Great GX attack, great ability. I'm a huge fan of Xurkitree. Now, 100 and discard the top card of your opponent's deck for free energy is nothing to get excited about, and it's not going to see a huge amount of play for that, but it doesn't matter because it's got a great ability and a great GX attack, and as far as I'm concerned, that's enough. Now, we are getting a new Xurkitree coming out in the not too distant future. It's being released in Japan's Sun and Moon 5+, and it is a basic non-GX. I mean, of course it's a basic. Xurkitree's a basic Pokemon. 1 lightning energy, 20 damage plus confusion. 2 lightning and a colorless, 100 damage, but if you've got exactly 3 prize cards remaining, instant paralysis. It's a fun, non-GX Pokemon. I think it will see a fair amount of play. It could be good. I've done a video about that. I will, of course, as always, if I remember, which I should. It's Christmas. Pop a link in the description. So far, Xurkitree in the Pokemon trading card game. Pretty good debut. Great GX. Decent non-GX that will be coming in the near future. So I suppose we should also have a look at Xurkitree in the video game and see if it's any good. And the answer is yes. It's seen top cuts, it's seen a little bit of success. Now, it didn't actually see any top cuts at the London International Championships or the North American International Championships, but at the Latin American International Championships, Ian McLaughlin did take 5th place with a team featuring Xurkitree. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, it's seen a bit of play here and there. And if we look at the base stats for Xurkitree, the first thing that should be jumping out is that special attack of 173 is absolutely nuts. Now, the main trick of Xurkitree that a lot of people like using, and it's my favourite trick with Xurkitree, is to use the attack Tail Glow, which, as far as I'm aware, used to be the signature move of Volbeat, and I believe Manaphy is the only other Pokemon that can actually learn it, which is kind of cool. And what it does is it increases special attack by 3 stages. That's right. We start off with a Pokemon whose special attack is nuts, and then we increase it by 3 stages with Tail Glow, giving us a Pokemon then with a ridiculous special attack that can KO an awful lot of things. Then we take a special electric move. Thunderbolt seems pretty good, base power of 90, 100% accuracy, and you end up with a Pokemon that just does so much damage. Now, Xurkitree is actually just a lightning type Pokemon, electric type I should say, lightning in the trading card game, electric in the video game, but it can also learn Dazzling Gleam, which is of course a really good fairy type move that hits both the opposing Pokemon, which is really nice because you're hitting ground types like Garchomp, for instance. And Garchomp saw a fair amount of play. I mean, if we specifically look at Ian McLaughlin's set, he's pasted it on Pastebin, and, you know, he's the person that cut the Latin American International Championships with Xurkitree, so probably fair to assume he knows what he's talking about. Now, the ability here is Beast Boost, which really is about the only ability that you can have. It's an Ultra Beast, which means that when you take a KO with it, it raises its highest stat by 1 stage. And if you've been paying attention to the video so far, you will probably notice it's definitely going to be special attack. So as if a tail glowing Xurkitree isn't quite good enough, you take a KO with it, and then your special attack only goes up, which is a little bit crazy. Ian went for a timid Xurkitree, which puts your attack down, which is fine. I think I've made it quite clear by now that Xurkitree is a special attacker, not a physical attacker, and puts your speed up. Speed is good. Hitting first is a very good thing, and a base speed of 83, although not amazing, is certainly nothing to be sniffed at here. We then see that the moves list here is Thunderbolt, which gives your same type attack boost. That is where your moves do 1.5 times as much damage if the Pokemon and the move are of the same type. Lightning Xurkitree, Lightning Thunderbolt. And of course, Thunderbolt's a special move, which is important given that you're a special attacker. Dazzling Gleam is a nice spread move that hits both the defending Pokemon while also being fairy type, which, like I say, good for ground Pokemon like Garchomp. Tail Glow, as we've seen, and Protect, just to give yourself a bit of invulnerability for a turn. And without getting too deep into the EV spreads here, we do see that it's all about bulk. Bunch in HP, bunch in defense, bunch in special defense, 4 in speed, 4 in special attack. And Ian did explain on his Pastebin post that the 4 speed plus the timid nature should mean you can outspeed Tapu Fini, which is quite important because if you get a Thunderbolt into a Tapu Fini, being a water type, Tapu Fini getting wrecked. He also went Wiki Berry. It's just one of these pinch berries. When you get down to 25% health, it gives you an extra 50% health. It's really good. So quite frankly, Xurkitree, a good Pokemon. Though I should mention that another move that does see a fair amount of play on Xurkitree is a bit of the old Discharge. Discharge is just a lightning type move that hits all the other Pokemon on the field. It's a nice spreading type move. It is of course a special move, not a physical move, which by now you should realise, very important, you're a special attacker. I think I made that clear. Now last year when we talked about Delibird, we said look, it's not great in the trading card game, it's not great in the video game, but it's a Christmassy Pokemon. Xurkitree, as far as I'm concerned, is a Christmas tree Pokemon, and I will not be swayed from this. But it's actually a really good Pokemon. It's great in the trading card game, it's great in the video game, and I am willing to say this with a lot of certainty, my very favourite of the Ultra Beasts. But ladies and gentlemen, it's Christmas. I appreciate you watching this video, but it's probably time to go spend time with your family or ignore them to play the new video games you got. Either is good. If you would, however, be kind enough to leave a comment down below, leave a like, and make sure you're subscribed, that would give me a very Merry Christmas indeed. Don't forget to be following me on Twitter @TheWassy and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCGRadio. And if you're feeling in the mood to support the channel over this festive period and get some bonus podcasts that are awesome, you can do so by going to patreon.com/PTCGRadio. But by far, and I mean by far, the most important thing, especially over the festive period, is to look after yourselves until next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Special Christmas PTCG Radio. Merry Christmas.